are here. That is good. I feel hope stirring in my veins once more. It is the prospect of reconciliation that has granted me a second youth. Come. We must kill the alphas of each Eyrie. With their veins in hand, we shall fulfill the gods' wishes. The Teryx Eyries lie in the wilds of the teeth of Naros, to the south of the city. We need not look far to find what we seek. But while there are many lesser Teryx here, strongest and brightest, these are the true challenge. Salvation awaits. Feel my wrath! Come. Circlet must be built. Thus we begin. And as we harvest these trophies, you shall learn the journey the Colossi have taken to get here. Once we were but savages, no better than the other giant kin. We were called Myru, and to that identity we were chained, until one day, Athene spoke to us. She spoke of a destiny and greatness that was not ours, but could be. She showed us the path of ascension, and we followed it here, to the teeth of Naros. No, we are far from the homeland of our ancestors. Undoubtedly the gods wished us to renounce our savage history. It was necessary. Though the Jotun and Etin once regarded us as kin, they grew jealous of us, of the strength we gained from the gods' favor. Tensions rose to war. It was a sign from Athene to my people to seek a new homeland, where the bounty of her wisdom could be harvested eternally. Very well, beckoned. Feel Balin's embrace! Circlet must be built. We wandered the teeth of Naros in search of the homeland we were promised. And when hope seemed lost, we found the Hyperion. It was a divine artifact. No mortal hand could have crafted it, a massive stone, alone in the wilderness, with the image of a floating city engraved upon its surface. At the city's heart was the Hyperion itself. We knew then Athene was tasking us to craft this wondrous city, to form a covenant. But we betrayed that ideal. To test our worthiness, the gods have strewn throughout Amalur riddles, puzzles, and challenges. Answering them demonstrates our greatness. The Hyperion is one such challenge. Perhaps the greatest of them. And though we discovered it years before, we still do not have the answer. Salvation awaits.
What is it?
I almost did not see you.
When we came to many could...
How goes the search for my Galatea? Any news of her yet? Yes. And how was it? Was it unharmed? That statue is my wife, Galatea, so to speak. In truth, my wife is dead, murdered by a monstrous troll named Kern years before. I carved that statue to remember her by. Every year on the anniversary of her death, I work on it more so that I never forget her face. But even that has been denied me. So the only solace I have left is knowing my wife's killer is dead. Find Kern, Beckend, and bring his end for me. Please. Go back to the Warren and search for him there. That is where he ambushed my wife and me years before. Goodbye. Yes?
You have come again. Is there anything else you require?
You must be the beckoned. The beckoned. Welcome, beckoned. Any who explore the teeth of Naros should not do. Be careful. Out there. I have potions to offer you, Beckon. A great many potions. I have potions. I have potions to offer you, Beckon. A great many potions. My potions cure all wounds. Or most of them.
Feel Balin's embrace. Feel Balin's embrace. In the end, the city rose, but the Hyperion did not follow. The heart of the city remained unmoved. That we could not abide. My predecessor, Arches, sought to force the Hyperion up, but the Hyperion rejected him, killing him and his followers, and sealed itself away. Our work here is concluded. Since you seem to favor the arts of magic, take these. I used them once. May they guide your meditations. I must make the gods see that my people can be redeemed for the faults of Arches. With the wreath in hand, I can conduct a ritual of atonement. As you bear the cipher, the conduit to the gods, you will bear witness. Come. We must conduct this ceremony at the site of our original transgression. Let us go to the Hyperion. If it will not, then why will you brought to me? To give pretense to salvation? To raise our hopes, only to crush them with failure? I know the gods of my forerunners. They would not flaunt the answer to their riddles without sharing it. Now come. The Hyperion awaits. Salvation awaits. In the youth of Amalur lived the Uranos, existing from the hill lands alone. They held not the blessings of the gods, and so were blinded to their own potential. We lived in ignorance among the savage people. We wasted the gifts of the gods ourselves.
If Sikandra feels that she can trust you, then you have my faith and respect as well, Beckoned. Go, place them at the Litany altar, and it will activate the magic of all the other litanies throughout the Teeth of Naros. Take care out here. Good to see you, Beckoned. Be careful on your travels. Now that you have placed the litanies at the Litany altar and activated their magic, any other litanies you may come across will be helpful to you. Here is one I found while you were searching for the 5 to place at the Litany altar. Take it as a reward. Thank you for your help, Beckoned. Be careful on your travels.
You have come, good. We stand in a ground once hallowed beyond all things, now tainted by the excommunication of my people. Ever since that terrible day when arrogance and desperation brought about the disfavor of the gods, my followers have tended this place. Now come. We shall go to the antechamber of the Hyperion, the very spot where the sins of the Colossi were answered. The antechamber is the flawed design of Arches. It was the means by which he sought to force the Hyperion to join the city. It was to do so using the spark of divine magic Athene placed into each of us, that these fragments combined would create a force equal to that of a god. Such power was never meant to be wielded by the unworthy. The energies struck back at Arches, and the many assembled in his chamber, killing them. We are so close now. We are almost done. Much was ruined in that dark hour. The magics holding the paths together were unbound. Only the cipher can reorder such magics. Press ahead and set the path. Come. We must finish this. This mural was to celebrate the great triumph of my people. The city floats, it is nothing without the Hyperion at its heart. If you were curious, I could tell you more. Again, we find the way barred. I'm afraid I need your help once more. We are almost done. We are almost done, Beckoned. We have reached it. Beyond that stone is the Hyperion, the gift of the gods, the symbol of a covenant concluded. It rests out of reach, waiting for the day when the gods forgive our trespass, when they find us worthy again. Until now, I feared such a day would not come. We should begin. The gods visited this room once before. It seems only fit that you occupy their position. I will take my place where Arceus once stood. Long before, Arceus dared grasp the power of the gods and was judged according to his impudence. We act now as their analogues. In you, the gods visit this chamber once more. You shall stand where they appeared and made manifest their wrath. And I shall stand where Arceus stood and bore the brunt of their imminent will. We are so close now. I have taken my place, but you must also take yours. Please, Beckoned. I have taken my place, but you must also take yours. Please, Beckoned. I have taken my place, but you must also take yours. Come. You have your position to attend to, and I have my... The end of this awaits. Come. You have your position to attend to, and I have my own. Let us commence. Come, Beckoned. Thank the gods! Praise be to them. After all this time, I bear witness to their confirmation. You have done so well, Beckoned, to bring the cipher to me and to let me use its strength. With you, I can do what Arceus could not. Command the Hyperion. The gods have found my people unworthy of the gifts offered us. So, using the Hyperion, I will see Idylla destroyed. The wicked will be purged. And once the city falls, I will reforge the ruins in an image the gods find acceptable. I'm sorry, Beckoned, but you must be a martyr for my cause.
Bekend. What has happened? Why are Anakatos' acolytes attacking us? What is he doing with the Hyperion? Destroy Idylla? No! That zealous fool! Have the loss of his gods driven him to such despair to use the Bekend and the Cipher for such ends? We must make our way from this place. We cannot stop Anakatos from here. Take this talisman. The Silent Choir acolyte who bore it won't need it anymore. Now let's move. How if we cannot reach him? And we can do nothing to stop him if his worshippers kill us here. We must make for the surface, and hope that there is time enough for us to deal with him. Be cautious in these lands. Anakatos has sealed himself in with the Hyperion, and his Silent Choir will lay down their lives for him. I do not know what to do, Bekend. I have defended my people from beasts and disasters, but nothing like this. Of course, I will not let Anakatos destroy my people because he believes the gods demand it. I know we have the strength we need inside of us, despite his claims. We are worth saving, even if the gods disagree. But Anakatos has sealed himself in the Hyperion antechamber. Without the cipher and knowledge of the Hyperion, we are lost. Anakatos was clever by exploiting your power. The cipher must be the key to unlocking the Hyperion, and he has broken it in his plan. But that is the one thing my people have been unable to do since we first came here. Only the Primos would know enough about the riddle for us to even try. Anakatos and his Silent Choir had a monastic retreat in the wilderness, Nixaros. If we need his knowledge, we best start our search there. It is an old portion of the city that was never raised up. It was supposed to be a shrine of quiet contemplation. Now it is the refuge of Anakatos' Silent Choir. The complex rests where it was first carved, in the Mountains of the Teeth. Be cautious in these lands. We cannot waste time. There does not appear to be much here, but we have to be thorough. We should try near the Shrine of Athene. Anakatos prizes her above all else. I would wager he keeps his secrets with her. Farewell. succeed.
Anakatos, make this record in penance for my disappointment of the supreme goddess Athene, in hopes that I may return to her favor, so that I could help my people find her strength once more. I have committed several acts that may have angered her, and now I purge myself of them so I might find her grace again.
Beckoned, not time. Seek, Primus, below.
I am afraid we have dishonored my master, Arcades. He is a pious man who has always sought to serve, and we use the power of his position to force us on the true path without his knowledge. Slave...
Hold a moment. These are bodies of colossi. What are they doing here? Wait, I recognize some faces. Bilfron, Armandia, these were great colossi, all viable competitors for the role of Primos at one time or another. I do not like the implications of this. What has Anakatos wrought? Very well.
In this confession I shall tell of how my master was brought nearly to his death. Arcades failed Athene in our mission to bring her servants to a devout state that would be worthy of her power and wisdom. At my behest, he sought the Hyperion force to the sky to earn our recognition. The ensuing eruption of Athene's wrath killed many, and nearly took dear Arcades.
Trespassers, you are too late! The council already lies dying in the torture chambers, and the Jotun slaves will soon be butchered as the master ordered. Come, brothers and sisters, let us deal with these curs.
Here, I found these during the fight. I do not know what they once bound, but they might be of use to you. Now, we must decipher what that cultist said. But there are also the slaves. They will be killed if we don't save them. But if the Council is dying, we must choose who we see to first. The Council must be important. Something that could help us find a flaw in his plan, perhaps, or learn more about the cipher in the Hyperion. I do not believe so. The Council is dying if Anakatos' dogs are to be believed, and the slaves are to be executed. I am unsure who we should be trying to help, but you are the Beckoned of Athene. I must defer this choice to you. So decide. Do we go to the slave pens and help the slaves? Or do we go to the torture chambers to try to find Anakatos' council before it dies? Farewell.
I struggle to keep sweet Arches alive so that I may find in him the knowledge and power of the Primos, and in doing so can find the answer I needed to bring myself, my people, to perfection, to regain the goodwill of the great goddess. Thank Athene that my followers continue my work while I tend to my master.
Cannot succeed. These Jotun slaves are fighting for us. Could it be because we spared them when Parank was slain? Come. We must find these torture chambers and learn what we can from Anakatos' council. I do not know. All I know is that it lies dying if Anakatos' slavers are to be believed. It was good that we helped the slaves, but we have lost much time. I hope the council still lives. Very well.
You. I am past the point of much, but I can feel the warmth of Athene in you, strange one. Has my time come at last? I cannot see.
I cannot see. I know the beckon comes, but I cannot even look upon you. I am beyond rescue. Anukatos kept me alive, and though I wished for death many times, I knew I had to live. Ithene commanded it, for I spoke with her the day the gods struck us down for our folly. The day Anukatos hid my broken body and told the world I died. But I leave you not without a guide. Tell Sikandra she must remember her last day. She must.
Arcades. I had always... He had died. He had died years ago when the gods rebuked him and our people. It was truth. Anukatos had him alive and tortured. I watched him die years before. All that was left of him was a circlet. A circlet. Our last day. The day... Could it mean the last day that I saw him? The last day we spoke? Before the Hyperion tragedy, he asked me to escort him through the wilds, to the shrines outside the city, the shrines of earth and air. He told me to remember them when times seem bleak. I thought nothing of it, but could he have known about this? About now? I once thought that faith was what would ruin my people, the thing that would distract them from their happiness. But I see now, it is apathy. To not care for our people, that is Anukatos' sin. As I thought it was Arceus before him. But this is so much larger. Larger than I ever thought. And Arceus, he always knew that I would be here. He must have always known. The task is clear. We need to... Ah! My head! Can you feel it? Something is wrong. This magic... Anukatos has done something. We must return to the city. We might be too late. Something grave has happened. I can feel it in my body. I fear Anukatos may have accomplished his goal. Farewell. Let us finish this.